It's okay, it's okay. Hi! Are you there? Oh, it's so bad. It's day 6 of wheat after a few days off because of rain, and once again we can't get our combine started. And once again I look like Pinocchio.
Like it turned over for a while there, so you kind of assumed it.
You sleepy? Is that comfy? I'm still a sheep farmer, fear not. And I know my content lately has been a lot of crops, but it's just following my life. And right now it's in the fields. In the summer, I have quite a bit of overlap, but quite frankly, I spend probably more time in the fields. I have to be very, very well planned in the sheep barn. So I plan all my management jobs, the seedering, the breeding, the lambing, all that stuff has to be very, very planned for me because we typically have a good idea of when stuff's going on in the fields. And right now it's wheat harvest. I'm just taking along for the journey for that. But I'm very glad I had a couple days off because there's been some issues in the barn. Not because I haven't been here, I have been here. Carissa's been doing my chores. There's just some issues that we've been having, and I have a funny feeling first cut has come back to haunt us a little bit. I'm dealing with some listeriosis in the flock. Listeriosis is basically a bacteria that lives in the dirt, and it can get mixed up in your feed. So if you remember first cut, we cut it the day after it rained, and when we were cutting it, I could see off the tires we were turning a little bit of wee little tiny bits of mud into the windrow, and that little feeling in your stomach that's like, that's probably not going to be good. I'm just praying that that's not the issue, but I've had a ram go down earlier this week. I had 2 lambs last week. I have a lamb right now that I'm treating, and I had a ewe this morning that died. All of what showed signs of listeriosis. I've been in contact with my vet for a week, basically. The treatment's not working. It's a good treatment plan, but what's happening is I've been in the field, so I can't see them when they're showing those first signs. And if you don't catch it early enough, then I'm treating them for nothing because it's not working. So I got a lamb that I treated yesterday. It's circling, like literally they circle and circle. They try to run away from you and all they can do is circle. So the brain's already starting to be affected. It's not down yet, so I was praying that I'd be able to catch it in time. I just want to check it again. So I treated it yesterday, treated it this morning, and it was still trying to run. So I'm hoping that we're gonna nip this, but I don't think we will. So this is my guy. Hey, honey. It's okay. Shh, shh, shh. It's okay. 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 So it tries to walk, but it only goes in circles. I'm only showing you guys this stuff because it happens, and it's obviously picked up something. We have to be very, very careful if we see those little clumps to pull them out. Hard to do when you're putting in a scoop of like 300 kgs into the mixer at a time. I'm lucky enough that the conveyor belt's been bouncing the feed, so those balls kind of fall off the conveyor belt. So we're able to scrape that away, and I'm hoping that'll help. So that's 3 lambs out of like 200. So it's not a lot, but they're perfectly good lambs, and I hate for them to go down. They're only weeks away from being weaned, so it's discouraging. My ram I bought in January, so he was brand new, nothing wrong with him, and he was down in 2 days. It happens fast. You have to catch them early, and it's just the perfect storm, of course. It's when I'm in the fields. Carissa, I went through just some things, some management things that I want her to look at. I said if any ewe doesn't come up to the bunk or ram, if their ears are droopy, if they just look a little basically stoned, like if they just look really daisy and dopey, to let me know ASAP. She doesn't really know. I didn't even really know what to look for, so these are all conversations I've had with my vet. So he's helped me a lot. We're gonna work on our feed management a little bit more. The egg bag itself, we got to keep those corners nice and clean and pushed in. It's just little things, but they add up, and especially when it's hot, it feels like things just explode in the heat. So anyway, that's the update from the barn. Oh, I want to show you my lamb that I fixed its leg. It's doing really, really well. Look how big he's getting. Hi, bud. You're looking so good. Probably. About 3,000 pounds still left in this buggy. Do you want me to empty it in a wagon first? I didn't get that. I'm gonna call you. Okay, empty it here in the yard. Okay. Okay. Well, she's coming down with the truck, but she went to Ted's. So you may want to call her. Are you there? Hello? Hello? Okay, I just unloaded in the yard. We had a little bit left after that rain, after we got chased out by the rain the other day. Getting this kind of put away here. We are headed down to that little field that we were going to try to sneak off the other day, and then we got rained out, so we're just heading down there now. The problem with some of these fields, we rent them and they're hard to get in with our big equipment. So what we have to do is, our in-laws have chicken barns just next farm over. We're going to park the header cart there, put on the header onto the combine, and then Jess will go ahead and mark with the truck and make sure there's no oncoming traffic. It's like next laneway down. Sometimes we have to just make stuff work. We like to take the header off the combine at all times to be safe on the roads. Our road is very quiet, but it's the time that someone comes up and we got this big 30-foot head that they have to try to get around. It is late, probably wasted an hour or two with these stupid batteries trying to figure out what was wrong. So we're heading here, and then we're gonna, Brett to work for us last year, we are gonna take off his wheat. So we're gonna actually do this field and take off his before we take off our kind of later planted wheat. Kind of had wheat in two different timings. So our early stuff we've got off, and it did quite well. The later stuff's the fields that we weren't even sure if we were gonna keep. So they're not quite ready yet. Well, they probably are, but we're gonna get Brett's done and out of the way. And then we can concentrate on ours probably this weekend. Go ahead.
I don't think we worry about moisture. I got like 14 on my monitor here, so.
Okay, Jess is with me now, so just be a buggy driver.
Yeah, maybe get Jack to bring some wagons down. That truck is coming in an hour 15 for wheat.
Okay, I'll call him. What field is this at, Ted's?
What are the options?
Backfield, corn 2018, East Ted's, Branson, or soys 2018, Crusher soys.
Soys 2018, and then change it to that DS 572.
Yeah, 572. Good. The wheat crop's doing quite well, but even more than that, there's a lot of straw, and I think it's been kind of a blessing and a curse. We've struggled a little bit with some down wheat as one variety for sure. This field, it's so small anyway, we are actually spreading the straw. We're not going to keep it. The first field we dropped is more than enough for what we need, and we sold the rest of our fields for straw. Friends of ours are beef farmers, and they've always taken straw from us, so we gave them kind of the first fields closest to them. And then I think another guy is taking our field, our farthest field. This farm we rent, and we just want to preserve what we can in the soil, so it just hasn't been part of the system as we've had on our own farm with the cover crops and the manure, and it just hasn't had the history of our system. So Mark just wants to leave as much residue here as we can, just to build up that reserve again. You know, every year pull off a little more yield on all these fields, but what that does is actually you still are taking from the soil. So we're trying to give back more than we take, so every year your yields will increase and improve, and it's better for the environment, better for the soil. So we are leaving the straw here. Yes, we're not making money that way, but we just feel that we'll make more in the long run on the improvement of this land and the crops we grow here. So that's a little update on the straw situation here. So you'll see behind them, you won't see windrows like you did when we were filming the other stuff. Problem with not having the windrows is I like them for lining up my tractor when I'm trying to line up to the auger. So now I gotta do the old-fashioned way. Whoops. This field we have two varieties, so it'll be good because we have the variety that we grew on all the other fields, and then we have our old reliable Branson that I think this is the last year they're even making Branson. So we'll be able to see, you know, if this new variety is what we want, or if we have to be on the hunt for a different variety. Which means it's gonna take a while to fill this sucker. Snug as a bug?
Yeah.
You want me to take this?
Yeah, take it back.
So did you go around the block?
What?
Did you go around the block?
No.
What'd you do?
Pulled in here?
I thought you said you overshot it.
No.
We got to our final destination of the day, Brett's field. One of two. We're gonna do his field. We're starting his field. It's already 6:30, so we'll probably get shut down here shortly. And then hopefully tomorrow we can get it done and his dad's field done across the road. Problem is, their farm is on a really busy highway, and tomorrow is the beginning of our long weekend here in August in Canada. This road goes right to the beach. A Friday of a holiday long weekend is kind of like playing Frogger, if you remember that video game. If you weren't from the 80s, you will not remember that video game, but you're taking your life in your hands. Oh my god, I'm pretty sure Mark hit a skunk. And
It smells pretty bad.
it smells so bad. It's in my nostrils. Oh, it's so bad.
There's no adapter. Brett, it's in Brett's tractor.
Oh. Good morning. It is day 7 of wheat harvest. 7 days. Just dropping off some wagons at that field we were at last night. And then I have to run to town. I have a belt that has slipped off the corn auger on my TMR mixer. So I want to get Carissa going before we get going with wheat here. The barn's hilarious this morning. If you guys want to see, like, vlogging's awesome, but doesn't capture like the moments because I don't always have my camera with me. So if I have my phone with me, I get some pretty cool stuff on Insta stories. So if you're not on Instagram, go there and follow me, and you'll get like kind of the behind the scenes stuff as it happens. It's like breaking news. We should be going probably around noon today if it's 9:18, so if everything goes well and there's no other issues. Oh, I also had to chase a Jersey back into the barn. I don't know how she got out. She's a little Houdini and she's a brat, but they're enjoying their grass right now. Yeah, you're looking right at me. You know. You're a brat. pretty impressive. So Jack wired in a stoplight for trucks that are loading. So when we have trucks come in and go under the overhead to get loaded, he's got a sensor up on the where he stands, and he can push the button when he wants the trucker to go ahead. So it'll be red until he wants the truck to go ahead, and then it'll turn green when he presses the button. And then he's got another switch that runs with that little sensor on the wagon, and when he's in the right spot, when the wagon is lined up with the pit, the light turns red. So it'll stay green until it sees the sensor, and then it'll turn red, and then he knows he's at the right spot. He took electrical engineering this year at college, and so he wired it all himself, just with his own knowledge, which is cool. The highway was crazy. There's like a lineup galore, so we're trying to get the combine across a busy highway, and the header cart across the highway, and this across the highway, and poor Brett with wagons, he said people are giving him the middle finger, and it's just like, dudes, we're only on the highway for like 2 seconds. Just slow down for 2 seconds. It's just a different life and a different, it's a different perspective. This is probably one of their only weekends they have off. They want to get to the cottage. There's probably kids in the back yelling and screaming and wanting a snack for the 50th time. So it's just funny. And then us on the combine, we're like, la la la. I don't think we'll get much more done today because we're already probably close to, what was it? Yeah, we're almost pushing 6 o'clock. If we get this field done tonight and get everything moved home, we're probably doing pretty good. And then we still have, I think we're under 200 acres at home.